Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Owen here. Today we are going to be taking a look at the GT Bosses Red Zone Stage 2 of the new part, so that's part 4 total. This one is the fight against Baby. Now, from what I can tell and from what everybody else has been saying on Twitter and all that kind of fun stuff, this appears to be the hardest Red Zone stage that we've had so far. This one, what makes it tricky is all the phases hit pretty hard, and the type advantage at the end isn't too bad as he is int, so you can bring these LR Super Saiyan 4s and really go to town on him. But the issue that I've run into, and many others have run into, is the AoE. Goresh has said that, you can run into the AoE as many as 4 times in one setting, so that is obviously a pretty scary proposition, getting AoE hit 3 times, and some of these units are taking, 100 to 200k per hit on this, so, obviously you can see where a problem you're going to run into when you are trying to do that with, maybe a unit has to super first or something like that, and when you're hitting all these enemies that might not, or allies that might not have the best defense, you can see where that would run into an issue. The physical grouping, obviously, like a physical GT Heroes team is going to burn right through this. You see, I am using the Fused Fighter / GT Hero team on this specific run with the EZA Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta around. I figured this would be a better opportunity than ever to give him a chance to go. So, a couple things that I would recommend that you would bring for this event. Obviously, you're going to want items. Android 8 would probably be the best option in this case when you have a team with 700,000 HP. You can go ahead and heal right back up with an item, and you'll have enough to probably tank a super, enough to the point where you will not die. The biggest thing to me is, you got to be smart and not use, you can't get away with some units. You see I'm bringing Tech Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, but that is in the hope that after, a double super or his super effective against all types will come in. But, obviously he's not the most optimal unit to run for this. Physical Vegeta Blue is going to look phenomenal in here. This is one of his best looking outputs in terms of, everything. All of the Red Zone stages, I completed all of them. I haven't recorded all of them yet, but on every Red Zone stage that I beat, he was part of it. Because this Fused Fighter / GT Hero team can beat every single stage, from what I can tell. And, that's something you have to keep in mind, right? Counter supering, I'm kind of playing off of that. That's the main thing that I'm looking for. Can you counter a super? If you can counter a super, go ahead and get me all that damage. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, the Tech one just did it for me right there. A couple units, so let me go ahead and pull up the Fused Fighter category as I am, talking to you through this. Let's see here. Yeah, the beauty of this team in specific is the fact that, what's the word? I completely lost my train of thought. Oh, this team is just, there's so many different options. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, obviously there's 3 of them that I'm running on this team. After they super, they tank more than enough. But before it, they are a little bit suspect. STR Vegito is a very risky run, in my opinion. You have to be very careful in that case, as there's just not many, when he is in front of a super, if he doesn't super first, he's going to get hit very hard if he gets hit by a super. So, keeping that in mind is something to really stay keen on. But once you get the Super Saiyan 4 Gogetas out, the physical ones, you're really going to notice, a difference. They're going to start really hitting, right? Okay, so, sorry this is taking so long. I'm trying to watch the recording and do this at the same time. But, alright, so let's see here. Yeah, so obviously the LR Super Saiyan 4s you guys are going to want to bring. You can get away with bringing physical Super Gogeta, as he has a very, very good healing condition. So his fusing is turn 6 under 50% HP. You do get a full heal on the fusion, and this event isn't going to go much longer than 7 to 8 turns. There's a lot. Obviously, they hit pretty hard. These guys hit pretty hard, but they don't take too much to get them down. You see here, especially considering I'm bringing out the physical Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and then I'm going to scout the super attack with the Tech Super Saiyan Gogeta. We find that it is in fact in the first slot, so we're going to go ahead and try and counter it with the physical Gogeta with a lot of that, this massive 2-3 million counter. Okay, so I'm looking at the Fused Fighter category right now. Runnable options in here, I would say physical Kefla, Weirus, the LR Super Saiyan 4s, and physical Vegito Blue. Those are your top tier options. Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, I would not recommend. Yamhan or Tiancha, whatever you want to call him. I wouldn't bring him. Chow Man, very risky play. because he's holding back, right? Physical Piccolo, maybe, but I wouldn't recommend it. STR, there's literally nothing. I don't see any units here I'd say like, oh yeah, bring them. Like I'm looking right now, obviously STR Kefla is not going to cut it defensively. STR Gogeta, STR Kuriza, like there's just not much here. So on the int side of things, I would say just int Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta would be your best option here. If you really want to get risky, int Super Saiyan Gogeta with Rainbow Orbs could dodge, but with that AoE and all that fun stuff, it is going to be very close. On the tech side of things, this is where you get the type disadvantage. The only unit I could say here that I'm really confident in is Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. After his EZA, he is just quite dominant. Maybe tech Super Saiyan 3 Go tanks, but like I said, tech enemy, like tech units, the only way you really can bring them is if they're rainbowed in here, and you know, well, tech LR Gogeta as well, right? Like obviously you see he's in here. The AGL side, I don't really see anything here that jumps off the page. If you really want to risk it, you can try Super 17 and Super Vegeto. But other than that, those are from the TURs. The STR LRs, STR Vegeto, you could get away with. Super Saiyan Vegeto, obviously. Risky play, maybe. The LR God Boys should be okay. Obviously, LR Gogeta is okay. And then Super 17, LR Oob, and LR Blue Vegeto I would stay away from. So that basically is everything on terms of the Fused Fighter category. Obviously, for the physical GT hero, I do recommend that you bring the Super Saiyan Goku, as he does a lot of good things. Offensively, defensively, he's okay. Obviously, you know, you can definitely get a better offensive unit or defensive unit than him. In Super Saiyan GT Vegeta is another option you probably could get away with. So just something to consider as you're going through this. But you know, this stage isn't too bad. Like, why did I say that? This stage is hard. This one is a bitch. This AoE is super tricky. And you're going to see when I get to my last turn, this could have easily been a no item run. But Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta was on the rotation and the AoE was in slot 1. So no matter what I did, that was in Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta after a super attack, by the way. Like, he supered and raised his defense and he was still taking that much with normals. So, you'll see here in a minute when we get to the next turn that, yeah, 25k from a physical unit as well. But you'll see that I'm like, okay, I have the active skill and maybe I can get away with the no item run. But the AoE is in slot 1, so there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to do the no item run. So I got to throw the pride away, do the active skill, see how much damage we get. Maybe we kill him. Obviously we don't. 9.5 mil is still a lot of damage though. But you see, it's like just not enough defense. The AoE is going to end up killing us. So let's go ahead and get an 8er going. We get a full heal, basically, yeah, full heal, get all of our stuff back. And you'll still see here on the AoE that Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, he takes, I think, 100 or 200,000 on this normal this AoE anyway. Yeah, 170k with an 8 active. Like, and he had 190k defense, so he was up at like 270,000 defense, and it was still like, you know, 170k with a normal attack. So obviously, you're not really safe ever in here. Like, unless you just have an absolute tank of a unit that there's no way you're going to take any damage. That's really the only way that you're going to get through that without struggling a little bit. So we're coming up on the last set of attacks here in this run. This is probably one of the this is probably the hardest boss in the game right now. Just based on how hard he hits. Rildo might be up there as well because he has the locking in place, which is obviously a very annoying mechanic. But that was the baby stage taken down. So don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Don't forget, I read all comments, so go ahead and leave a comment. I'll interact with you that way. Turn on notifications so you don't miss out on the daily Dokkan content that I try and post here as much as I can, and I'm out.